Thank you all for having me out. I really appreciate it. You're going to hear something I'm pretty sure you haven't heard before. What I'd like to talk to you about is the new book I just wrote, California's Next Century 2.0, available at Amazon in print and electronic version. I'm Marcus Ruiz Evans. If you type in California's Next Century 2.0 or Marcus Ruiz Evans on any internet search engine, book reviews, articles come up. We'll be passing out flyers in a second. Anyways, what I'd like to talk about is the book and how it relates to you, and I will explain what the title means. What is California's Next Century? And what's key for you to hold on to is that we, and by we I mean Californians, everybody who lives within the borders of California, are entering into a very exciting times, but times with a lot of problems. Times where there's a lot of opportunities, but equally great challenges. And what I'm saying is that it is up to us to rise to the challenges and to seize the opportunity. And what I'm talking about is literally the opportunity of a century. I'm going to talk about California's current role with the federal government, and then I'm going to talk about the history of the world and how it relates to California. And then I'll explain, weave it all back in at the end. So first, what you need to know is that California is not a happy cow. How many of you have seen the happy cow image? You've seen California happy cow, sun, everybody's seen that? Okay. Picture that cow. Do you have it in your heads? Now I want you to picture what the opposite of that cow looks like. This cow is sickly. It's starved. Its ribs are showing. The spine along its neck and its back can be shown. Meat hangs off because it's so emaciated. Everybody have that picture of that cow? We're talking someplace, some horrible country where there's no food. Here's why that's important. That cow's you. It's all of you, 40 million people in the borders of California. And here's why. So every year you pay federal income taxes. You pay about $300 billion, and it pays for things like military, Social Security, border, etc., things you need. And then, after you've already paid everything that you get, you pay an additional $80 to $120 billion. I'll repeat that. You pay an additional $80 to $120 billion in federal income taxes that you get absolutely nothing for. So after you pay for national security, military, etc., and the government doles out that money from California's federal income tax, there's this $120 billion left over. That goes in the form of grants from the federal government to other states to pay for roads, bridges, dams, seaports, airports, and levees. Now here's the kicker. The federal government every year rates all infrastructure across all 50 states in all of America. And for the last 30 years, California has been rated by the federal government as having the worst. The worst roads, the worst airports, the worst seaports, levees, dams, bridges, you name it. Don't take my word for it. Type in California, the worst, and then change it from roads, bridges, dams, school buildings, federal buildings, airports, levees, etc. So for 30 years, you have the worst of all types of infrastructure, and yet for 30 years, you pay for other states to continue to have better of every single type of infrastructure. So the federal government already says these states are doing better than you, but we're going to take this extra $80 to $120 billion to make sure they continue to stay better than you. This has gone on for 30 years. Now here's the kicker. That $80 to $120 billion that you waste is equivalent to the entire budget of the state of California. So what I'm telling you is that you give welfare and waste it to other people that's equivalent to what you pay to keep your entire state running. All of you pay state income taxes. I'm going to assume that that's not a trivial amount of money you have to give up. Okay, you're wasting your state income tax. That amount of money that you give is equivalent to the amount of federal income taxes that you pay that are extra. You know what's